Exactly. If they want to play with a range, right? They don't want to maintain range. No hero requires that kind of range management. Sense. And if you talk about fit into that description, but Farsa will be the right on the esports. They can have an advantage in spammable spells and succeed to catch up to. We can't even really predict what's gonna happen.
You know what? I'm thinking an assassin for Kyrie up against RRQ here. It's possible, right? They can't actually. Oh my God! There's a signature pick from Kyrie that we haven't seen. It's a bit risky here, but the Hayabusa as well. Just go for a Bauman here, honestly. I predicted the Bauman, not the Leslie though. They pick up the me, and this is what we mentioned before. CW, she kind of counters Claude the invisibility, and with her second, cancel that blazing duet. We'll see how this works out though, because Leslie, very similarly to Mia, will have for the power spike in the jungle here to go up against that Bauman. Jin. Let's see if it works. Man, again, been rooting for the teams with pick.
It's basically a free wind of nature, right, for Leslie. And but RRQ, they picked up the Dairoth, who is going to be able to counter the Esme, the Poison here. Both have come up with amazing drafts, and it's going to come back down to the execution here in game number 5.
The confidence, Arash.
Something they're even keeping as a hidden ace up their sleeve. Now Q are taken aback, or will they crush
game in the series, ladies and gentlemen? Onyx Esports versus RRQ Hoshi. Into the land of dawn we go. Kyrie. Last time he played the Bauman was in game 2. And RQ trying to replicate that success.
In the early game, I feel, with the burst damage, with the pickup potential, but they are being the circling eagle. So if Albert, and we already seen in the past 2 games how Onyx is able to manage distance. Difficult task for
right, because now CW is gonna zoned away by Claude, by Skylar here. Miracle.
Right, again, for Claude, it's basically the same thing. Both of them can poke each other with their first ability, and it's down below. This is where the Esmeralda really shines. Up against Uranus, not really. Just regen back up, but he'll choose to back off. It's a bit too
of Onyx Esports, so very wisely, he is aware of the possibility of a and he'll be back in time for this turtle fight. Battle of early game supremacy.
Too strong at the moment, as now both teams are going to be centering around the on this first turtle. Bauman is going to have a better chance with but let's see what Albert can do with this.
Albert has the Abyssal Strike as well. He goes in, steals the turtle away, but will fall to the hand. Damage onto Clay. First blood for the turtle on Esports.
It might just be. They are the ones who are playing...
Whoa!
Hang on.
The only RRQ fan. Why? How?
I have given like predictions for as well, but I do think in the early game they have Eterna mentioned, one of the main problems for them, I feel like they do have a chance, possibilities to make it work. So it's not a completely biased prediction. Full disclaimer here, okay?
Absolutely, obviously, right? And for me, Onyx Esports, I think... Oh, wait a minute, they're gonna... By that feather airstrike, good engage, but Vin's gonna be taken low. Oh my god, one hit away.
Oh my god!
He gets out, Sans wasn't able to finish him off there. He had the sprint, but he did not use it. Onyx Esports have built a 1,000 gold lead, but again, it's still anyone's game right now. I do feel though that the Force is gonna have a tough time with the feather airstrike. Clay's gonna have to pull off a miracle here.
Not to mention, Albert has the Dairoth, but who is going to combo with the physical damage? Because he is one of the only sources of physical damage along with Skylar. That is a big question as well. But so far, their plan of being aggressive, of having a lot of burst damage and pick-off potential with the Farsa is finally coming online. If you take a look at the emblems here, 2 Avarice emblems for the side of RRQ. They want to scale in the side lanes, and in the mid side, Dairoth, Farsa, and Mathilda. That is a deadly early game combo. So it's the same game plan with better tools for the job.
15 seconds left on the clock for the next turtle to spawn. 5 seconds now, rather, and it's unfortunate right now because in terms of that guiding wind, right? The guiding wind is going to be able to allow him to disengage if he goes into aggressively. But in the top side here, CW is going to get so bullied as now both teams are going to set up for this next turtle.
Okay, Kyrie going to be the target for RRQ. Albert jumping in as well. Kyrie still able to maneuver out of there. That's going to be the wild charge connecting onto the side of Finn. Albert finds the turtle. Onyx now forced to disengage. R7 chasing Kyrie down. Very low, taken out by Finn. It's a 2-for-0 for RR. RRQ coming back in this game. Like we said, it's still anyone's game in the early phase.
They're going to get the gold lead back as well. Onyx Esports initially was leading, but now it's starting to look and turn to RRQ Hoshi here, as now we're going to take a look at the
Demon Hunter Sword completed for Claude, for Skylar in that lane. He will have a lot more damage, but so far, I think Lilia does so much more, so they have to be careful of Sans here. CW takes a bit of damage here. If you take a look at his items, for the most part, no defensive options just yet.
Oh, Vin has the guy win, gets out there. Albert jumps in onto Sans, looking for that missile strike onto CW! But it's gonna be Albert who falls. It's a 1-for-1 gold laner for jungler. I think it still might be worth to RRQ. They want to shut this Leslie down early on, and with that kill, that definitely gives Claude a little bit more room to play with, to scale into that late stage.
Very aggressive plays coming in, and that's what they can do, right? Go aggressively and then back out with the guiding wind. The shoe's on the other foot now. Onyx Esports need to find a way to catch RRQ Hoshi, as Keyboy is just an absolute nuisance. Yo, leave the man alone.
He's so annoying, and I'm really just sweating, waiting for the moment where Keyboy finds an opportunity to get that ultimate through on the important members. We saw him do it, opening up the map, giving information as well. 18 seconds left on the next turtle to spawn. And right now, Keyboy actually might get punished here.
Oh, one more hit. Vin takes it. Wow, the calculation on that. Fade away. Down! Skylar! Oh! Pull to the goal lane. Flies up to the top side to pick up that kill. Wow, that 1v1 was intense, but you know, it's never a 1v1. Boots, though, gonna be bursted down. Albert misplaced it, but some strike. Boots was able to get out of that one. Now, Kyrie looking for steal, but it's gonna be the turtle reset it here by RRQ. They're looking for Onyx right now. Kyrie! Wow! All the way for the Philippines, picks up a double kill. My goodness. Onyx Esports finding 2-1 there.
Onyx Esports is the whole different situation. They are the ones who require a combo engage, and RRQ Hoshi gave them a very easy possibility right there. They have to spread around so that they can make full use of the Matilda, of the mobility, and avoid any kind of combo. Onyx Esports has been able to do it once right now. RRQ Hoshi, they have to make sure.
Now, RRQ Hoshi, they need to be careful. They need to be able to find CW in that backline, even though he has been taken down twice. But once again, both teams are going to re-engage onto this turtle.
Circle Eagle onto Kyrie, zoning him out. It's going to be the wild charge coming in. Kyrie gets the lethal counter. Albert going to be taken down as well. onto Skylar as he's gonna get dished down. R7 picks up a double, looking for another. RRQ wins the fight. Onyx Esports takes the objective.
So basically a 2-for-2 trade here. But RRQ Hoshi, they're gonna hold the gold lead a little bit longer as Clay has already taken and obtained that lightning truncheon. So that damage is going to start to hurt. The scaling puts him back up to the gold that he needs.
Ooh, Kiboy here is gaining some information, hovering around for a possible play to happen. RRQ Hoshi now, ooh, R7 alone, but it seems that Onyx will back away. They lost one tower in the bottom and they get compensation in the top side, but the bottom side jungle though, RRQ Hoshi making a play of their own.
With a counter by Kyrie, but it's gonna be melted down by Skylar. Albert comes in as well. Kyrie, 1 HP gonna be taken down. Boots running away. Blazing Duet baited out. Boots coming back in for the re-engage. Onyx not choosing to commit onto this one. R7 still just being such a nuisance, is able to distract the other members here.
It's really difficult for the tanky members of Onyx Esports to have an effect here in the game because wherever they go, if Albert is in the vicinity, whatever HP that they were relying on for anything on the map.
Speaking of grabbing, you can grab your own food with the promo code grb.to/MPL or scan the QR code because this game might go in the favor of RRQ Hoshi, and that would mean that it's still a long way from finding the victory of MPL Season 10 Grand Finals. Right now, RRQ pressuring, and look at R7 on the Uranus, man. A lot more pressure compared to earlier on that Khalid.
Like, who's gonna have enough damage to burn this Uranus down?
Sans, but again, yeah, you're right. It's not consistent damage because it's mostly skill shots. And R7 is very sustainable now. RRQ using this actually to go for 975 gold lead, building to 1K now. Onyx Esports looking for that opening. Now zoning the other members away once again. Pops the consecration. He's just doing so much for RRQ right now. The captain of RRQ. Real-time win probability as well here, presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A series, Arashi.
NOD for Sans right here, respecting the possibility for R7 to just be an unkillable pillar in the front line. Lord is getting very low, but Sans makes the aggressive play happen. Watch for Albert.
Albert looking for the kill over Skylar, attacking out 1 HP. Boots now looking for the chase, jumps in. Skylar with the BMI still getting out 2 for 1 over to RRQ, making it a 3 for 1 with the Lord. Onyx Esports in disarray.
Falling far, far behind now as RRQ Hoshi have picked up a 2,000 gold lead. They are going to try to look for something in the mid side. They do get a turret, but at the end, what is it going to cost them? They're so far behind at this point.
They've been getting kills, but it's always been Albert. And for the most part, I think Albert is very content giving his life over if it means everyone else has space to farm, has pressure, has gold leads. Right now, if you take a look at Skylar, he has the Malefic Roar on top of the core combo of Claude, so it's a lot of damage. And even Clay already with the Lightning Truncheon at 11 minutes. That's a lot of burst damage. And RRQ Hoshi are going to take full advantage of that. They are pressuring all over the map.
Bottom side, look at RRQ, right? Again, R7 is just such a nuisance that Onyx Esports need to funnel in a few members towards R7 to actually threaten him out. And with that, RRQ are able to take the tier 2 down below for free. You're looking for the mid lane now. Keyboy is going to be melted down to half HP. Lord as well in the top side. Going to be managed by RRQ. It's taken low though. Onyx Esports have done a good job clearing it out. CW actually walks out of the Feather Airstrike. Keyboy cancels it out. This might be a play for Onyx Esports to actually look for a comeback, but I don't think RRQ are gonna fall for that bait. They took every single tier 2. They don't need to look for anything else here. They can definitely go for some poke, but that's about it. I don't think RRQ are gonna commit.
Yeah, Keyboy doesn't have Flicker yet. Oh, but he does have it now, so they might be looking for a play here. Doesn't find it just yet. Look at the way that RRQ Hoshi are actually rotating, right? They're not allowing Clay, nor Albert, nor the gold laners to go anywhere. And they're using their ability to have that high ground to just really burst down the members of Onyx Esports and zone them away and prevent them from looking for a play on the board.
Kibo has built the Athena shield, so now if RRQ wants to go for a combined damage burst play with Albert and Clay, he will be a lot more survivable. But RRQ Hoshi with the map pressure, with the control in the game right now, It's going to be very difficult for Onyx Esports, but if you look at CW, he is able to do a lot of damage onto R7. In fact, he is the second highest damage dealt in the game right now, so they have to be a bit careful because eventually he'll be able to actually melt through the HP bar of R7 on that Uranus.
We'll see. Right now, they are going to contest this blue buff away from Onyx Esports. Keyboy already looking for an engage here or even a flank, and they do have the tools to get this, but Kyrie still manages to get that buff away. Arkihoshi fails to steal it away.
Late game. How is this looking, Arashi? If we get to that late stage of the game, or just, no, we don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the next few seconds here. Does RQ still win in these team fights? How does Onyx win?
Onyx wins by initially surviving the pickoff and then out-sustaining the damage from Arkihoshi. Yes, it's easier said than done, but unlike Arkihoshi, they don't require combos to win the fights. Blazing duets and the like are not available for Onyx Esports, so pure damage, pure basic attack damage from CW and spammable spells from Sans will mean that the longer the fight goes, the more damage is coming in, but Vin goes in.
Oh, Vin's trying to zone them away right now. The Lord's taking low, but that's going to be Vin losing immortality. Blazing him into the back line right now. Skylar is going to be dealing with so much. Still having that passive healing up. CW goes in, one more shot over Skylar. Clay blocks it out, one more. Oh my goodness! Skylar gets that 1 HP. Albert jumps in with the damage now onto Boots. R7 also still regenning. Onyx, Sans popping that black shoes, getting the sustainability back up to almost full HP, but the Feather Airstrike comes in, cancelled out by the barrier. Boots jumps into the falling side move, is getting taken down by RRQ. It's a 4v3, oh my god! CW falls! Albert looking for the damage once again! Kyrie finds the turtle, finds the Lord, my bad! Albert still gonna be able to find the kill though. It's a 3-4-1 in the end. Kyrie saves the game with the Lord, but is it enough?
At what cost, right? This was the same thing that we saw from Arkihoshi yesterday, and it ended up in their demise. So now they're going for that straight push. But the airstrike already opened up here. Sans, Keyboy, the only ones left to defend.
Sans still able to clear the wave. Skylar on the base still. R7 tanking it up. Mini wave spawning for Onyx Esports. RRQ looking for that top side. Takes it down. Lord spawning in will mean that RRQ cannot end. Kyrie has literally saved Onyx Esports, and they're looking for the re-engage here. Conceal pop in. Falling Star Moon charged by Boots. Looking for R7 here, but the Feather Airstrike will zone them away. Keyboy needs to be careful. Pops in a wild charge. Will get melted down. R7 jumps in. Skylar with the Blazing Duet. Will not be able to find anyone. R7 and Vin in the midst of it all. Sans dealing damage once again. Vin gonna be taken out by Kyrie. 1-0. Onyx Esports still on the board. Holy moly.
Man, Kyrie doing so much for his team right now, and that engage was super worth it for Onyx as they were able to get one member off the board. Remember, the bottom lane was pushing as well in favor for Onyx Esports, and they were able to get a tower out of it. So Arkihoshi, because of the lack in wave discipline, they're gonna lose more than they bargained for.
They're both scaled up in the late game right now. 3k advantage for RRQ. Look at that, those CW can chunk half HP, but without any follow-up. Skylar comes in to do it, he's so low.
The 2 damage, the 2 damage, the snipe from CW, the last is massive, and now the damage comes through once again. It's another kill over, R7 gets taken out. Onyx Esports with a 2-0.
This isn't good. This isn't good. 2 members, 30 seconds left on the board. Onyx Esports trying to push all of these lanes. You can see the Leslie going to the top side, looking for some compensation in that tower. But right now, Arkihoshi, whatever lead that they have, it's been completely taken back by Onyx Esports, just on the back of Kyrie and CW.
That's the guiding win, bringing Clay to safety. Albert in the midst of it all, taking a whole lot of damage. Immortality bot now, gonna be able, no, he doesn't have the winner truncheon. Clay gonna be dove in, surviving with a 2 damage there. Keyboy falls. 2 seconds on Skylar. CW taking a turret for the rest of the members to back off. They cannot end. Welcome to MPL ID Grand Finals. Holy!
What an insane turn of events right here. And looking at the items, almost everyone's at 5 items, but mainly look at the damage dealers. Lilia with the Divine Glaive as well. R7 needs to be very, very careful. He has 2 magic resistance items, but now he's falling to the damage coming in from CW. CW, on the other hand, with the Blade of Despair. Skylar cannot walk up carelessly because that true damage, as we saw, that is one-shot potential coming in from the marksman, and in a way, that is how Onyx Esports can counter that Blazing Duet. Arkihoshi needs to pay attention to the execution, man. They have the tools necessary, but do they have the patience, the macro, the strategy to deal with Onyx Esports right now as the Lord spawns in minute number 18?
Man, honestly, I think Skylar would benefit from the WOM for the Blazing Duet, but he received so much damage from CW that basically we assume that he gets taken out.
It's a difficult situation, but RRQ has the control. But already look at Boots trying to make sure that the wave control supports Onyx Esports goals. And Kyrie with the Athena shield is quite useful in this situation. But RRQ Hoshi, they're waiting for the opportunity. But Onyx Esports, after catching up right now, RRQ needs to be very careful to ensure that they don't get picked off instead.
The goal lead's gone for RRQ. It's now Onyx Esports who holds it, but like we mentioned before, in the late stage, the goal lead won't matter. Vin opened up the map already. RRQ have information on how low, but I don't think they're gonna be there in time. CW, the true damage, takes Albert down. Clay with the guiding wind, trying to run away, wings by wings, out of safety. Boots chasing him down, but he will be melted by Skylar once again in the mid lane. Win will fall to CW. Calvin Winata on the Leslie.
Wow, 2,500 gold lead, 2 members taken down to the hands of Onyx Esports, and it looks like RRQ Hoshi, they need to defend for the last time. They do have the benefit of still having Clay, they do have the high ground to defend, but with so much damage coming in from CW, they need to find a solution to go into the backline and take him out.
It's very difficult because Skylar is now pressured by CW on that Leslie. Look at that damage! 1,700 true damage on that Leslie. And now RRQ Hoshi, they are forced to back away from their turret. Onyx Esports make the final play.
CW with a shutdown there. They're going for the base. Base turret number 1 taken down in the mid lane. Top side as well. Bottom side as well. 3-minute waves pushed in. RRQ will have to pull off a miracle. But their airstrike coming in again as that's to be Boost jumping into the back lines. The missile strike connecting again as the Blazing Duet comes in his own other members away. The Lord's coming in. Unstoppable big time with CW. Massive once again. Vin goes in, but it's a double kill. Onyx Esports with a maniac as they the defending Season 9 champions. Kyrie has done it with Onyx Esports, with CW, Keyboy, Boots, Sans. Onyx have done it. It is all over for RRQ.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion for our MPL ID Season 10, and that is going to be Onyx Esports. What are the past King of the Galaxies to the King of the Skies? Of the dynasty, the era of Onyx Esports. Congratulations to Onyx Esports.
The new Kages. Onyx Esports have done it. 4-2-1.
That is crazy, man. What a performance against RRQ Hoshi. They fought against so much. RRQ, no pushover at all. They have adjustments. They had moments of their own, but overall, eventually, Onyx Esports is inevitable. They are the new kings of the galaxy. And look at the audience right now. This is insane.
Their 3rd MPL championship title, as they are going to be the ones to lead and represent Indonesia for M4. And this is just a beautiful turn of events, very poetic, as last season they were taken down by RRQ 4-1. And this season, MPL ID Season 10, they are the ones to dominate RRQ Hoshi 4-1 as well. 2 months, nearly 3 months of all that blood, sweat, and tears. We are going to see and thank RRQ Hoshi though for what they've been able to show us this season.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Onyx Esports! Perjuangan mereka pada akhirnya sudah selesai di season 10 ini. Tapi tentunya RRQ Hoshi, mereka akan berjuang lagi di babak M4. Good game, well played. Kita bisa berikan tepuk tangan kepada kedua tim Onyx Esports dan juga RRQ Hoshi semuanya. Wow. Dan melihat begitu gemuruhnya dari MPL, inilah dia sang juara kita Onyx Esports yang sudah berjuang dari regular season. Mereka memuncaki babak regular season di posisi yang pertama. Begitu pula kali ini di babak grand final. Yes, Bude Clara, dan tentunya Onyx Esports telah memenangkan Grand Final MPL Indonesia Season 10 dan nantinya akan bertarung juga mewakili Indonesia, Bude Clara.
Tapi kita tahan dulu ya untuk selebrasi bersama para Sonic cewek. Bertemu dengan Mama terlebih dahulu.
Wow.
Ibunda dan keluarga yang hadir jauh-jauh begitu pula dengan Boots. Berpelukan dulu bersama dengan sang ibunda yang juga hadir. Keluarga Onyx Esports.
Yes, Bude Clara.
Ada Sonic, ada Majel, semuanya sudah hadir di sini. Boleh langsung gabung ke tengah karena kita sesaat lagi akan bersama memberikan hadiah dan Onyx Esports.
Seluruh kerja kerasnya tidak ada yang sia-sia dan tentunya support dari semua Sonic.
Dari yang di Tribun Epic, Legend dan bahkan Mythic mereka bersama-sama dan yang ada yang di luar sana. Wow, semuanya bersorak-sorai tapi para player dan juga tim keluarga Onyx Esports boleh ke tengah-tengah. Kita akan mengundang juga dari perwakilan para sponsor keluarga dari MPL.
Yes, Bude Clara, memang kesenangan ini tidak terbendung lagi ya, semua player merasa sangat senang, begitu bahagia semua Sonic juga. Dan kali ini kami akan mengundang yang terhormat Bapak Taufikul Furkon selaku Product Marketing Manager Samsung Electronics Indonesia. Bagikan handphone Samsung Galaxy.
Hadiah Onyx Esports akan mendapatkan handphone langsung.
Yes, Bude Clara. Handphone Samsung Galaxy A Series 5G.
Yes, dan langsung saja para pemain ini sudah berjuang sekuat tenaga, menghabiskan berjam-jam. Dan bahkan kita melihat bahwa mereka berlatih tanpa henti begitu fokus. Tentu semua pendukung dari Onyx Esports.
Benar sekali Bude Clara, karena bukan hanya bertanding hari ini saja atau kemarin di babak playoff, tapi juga Onyx Esports sudah melewati regular season selama 8 minggu.
Yeay, baru menang langsung dapat handphone baru.
Keren banget gak sih? Wow, dan dapatnya HP handphone Samsung Galaxy A Series juga.
Iya, dan langsung diberikan juga oleh Bapak Taufikul yang sudah hadir di MPL. Dan Bapak dipersilakan untuk menunggu di sini di sebelah kami. Karena kami akan langsung mengundang juga perwakilan dari UBS Gold, Bapak Michael Yahya selaku Creative Director UBS Gold untuk memberikan medali dan cincin.
Wow, Bude Clara bukan cuma dapat HP, tapi ternyata mereka juga akan menerima medali dan cincin dari UBS Gold.
Yes, dan ini juga merupakan kebanggaan tersendiri bagi para player dan juga keluarga. Dan inilah cincin emas dari UBS Gold.
Memenangkan MPL Indonesia Season 10 dan menerima beragam hadiah ya. Hadiah-hadiah tentunya support dukungan keluarga dan Sonic, dan juga hadiah-hadiah berupa tadi handphone, sekarang juga ada emas.
Betul. Dan cincinnya ini loh, banyak banget yang pengen, banyak banget yang melihat. Semuanya berbondong-bondong berusaha sebaik mungkin supaya kalau juara bisa dapat cincin dari UBS Gold.
Wow, bling-bling sekali ya Bude. Seperti kita nih, perhiasan kita ada anting dan kalung ini UBS Gold juga. Bling-bling sekali. Mungkin bisa lihat nih ya teman-teman player pemenang Onyx Esports yang udah pakai nih cincinnya, bisa dikasih lihat dong ke teman-teman di depan. Medalinya dan juga cincin emas dari UBS Gold. Bisa diperlihatkan ke teman-teman.
Gayanya harusnya yang ini ya. Ini loh cincin pemenang.
Ini dia bukan cincin sembarang cincin, tapi adalah cincin pemenang MPL Indonesia Season 10. Wow, bling-bling sekali, mendapatkan medali juga. Diperlihatkan ke penonton semua, diperlihatkan ke Sonic, semua pendukungnya. Wow,
where's the ring, Coach Yap?
Wow.
Semuanya tentu mendapatkan medali dan juga cincin keluarga Onyx Esports. Boy, mana boy cincinnya boy?
Oh, itu dia. Wow, dari sini kelihatan bling-blingnya nih. Wow. Langsung dipakein langsung cincinnya sama langsung dari Pak Michael Yaya ya selaku Creative Director dari UBS Gold. Langsung disematkan ke jari pemenang MPL Indonesia Season 10. Dan selanjutnya Bu Deklara, ini tentunya tidak lengkap kalau tidak diabadikan momen ini. Jadi ini diabadikan momen kali ini.
Tangannya diangkat dong yang pakai cincin. Kasih lihat cincinnya,
Tunjukkan
bergaya.
cincinnya.
Ayo semuanya dengan cincinnya dan oke.
Cincin pemenang, cincin bukan sembarang cincin. Cincin hasil kerja keras mereka ya Bu De.
Betul, terima kasih untuk Pak Michael Yahya.
Dan disilakan untuk kembali.
Dan selanjutnya, tentu kita akan langsung mengundang untuk memberikan giant check. Inilah dia, perwakilan dari Munton, Bapak Martinus Haji Manurung selaku Head of Business Development Esports untuk memberikan giant check kepada Onyx Esports. Inilah dia yang dinantikan, Sang Raja Galaksi mendapatkan giant check langsung dari Bapak Martinus Manurung.
Wow, dan dengan ini resmi sudah Onyx Esports kali ini menyambangi mendapatkan gelar Raja Galaksi. Wow, ini dia giant checknya.
Raja Galaksi.
Kita bisa berikan tepuk tangan, ini dia Onyx Esports Raja Galaksi MPL Indonesia Season 10.
Yes, dan setelah kita melihat banyak sekali hadiah yang bertebaran kepada para pemenang, tentunya kerja keras mereka di babak playoff ini tidak lepas dari salah satu sosok ini nih, Moni.
Siapa sih Bude? Siapa?
Yes, kita punya yang namanya Final MVP.
Kira-kira Sonic, kira-kira siapa Final MVP-nya?
Siapa? Siapa?
Kurang kedengaran, siapa sih?
Suara berbeda semua nih kayaknya ya. Dari Mythic, Legend sampai Epic. Semuanya berbeda-beda. Coba sekali lagi satu suara, siapa yang bakal jadi MVP?
Kita tanya lagi deh, kayaknya belum jelas nih, belum pasti. Kira-kira siapa yang menjadi Final MVP? Kita tanyain dulu nih, kalau udah nanyain super fans, kita nanyain teman-teman Oni kira-kira MVP-nya siapa?
Tunjuk siapa yang bakal jadi MVP?
Ditunjuk dong siapa MVP-nya.
Tunjuk diri sendiri aja.
Ditunjuk dong. Kira-kira siapa nih menurut kalian? Walaupun tidak lepas ya, walaupun ada MVP, tapi semua player sudah bekerja dengan keras, sudah memperlihatkan kinerja yang begitu baik ya
Betul,
Bude.
karena namanya tim saling bergandengan satu sama lain untuk berjuang mendapatkan kemenangan.
Kira-kira siapa ya? Jadi penasaran final MVP-nya siapa? Kalau kemarin kita sudah tahu ya siapa yang menjadi MVP regular season, kali ini siapa ya? Apakah sama ataukah akan berbeda?
Yes, tentunya untuk para Sonic, untuk pencinta Mobile Legends, untuk semuanya. Kita akan hitung bersama-sama untuk memanggil, inilah dia MVP babak playoff final jatuh kepada,
kita hitung sama-sama 3, 2, 1. Wow,
jatuh kepada
siapa?
Kairi.
Wow. Ini dia MVP final dari MPL Indonesia Season 10. Kairi.
Langsung digendong.
Yes.
Emang sesolid itu ya para Sonic. Dan inilah dia tentunya mereka akan mendapatkan hadiah juga dari Samsung.
Benar sekali, dan kami mengundang sekali lagi Bapak Taufikul Furkon selaku Product Marketing Manager Samsung Electronics Indonesia untuk memberikan hadiah kepada Final MVP Kairi.
Kairi akhirnya bermain di Indonesia. Ini adalah season pertamanya, tapi performa dari babak regular season, dari babak playoff dan juga final ini terlihat bahwa dia begitu memukau dan memberikan tentunya yang terbaik.
Benar sekali Bude, dan sebagai MVP dia juga mengambil salah satu peran penting dalam kemenangan dari Onyx Esports dalam MPL Season 10 kali ini. Wow.
Terima kasih
Bapak
Bapak.
Taufikul.
Dan untuk Onyx Esports yang kayaknya dari tadi udah nempel-nempel ke piala. Udah pengen bawa pulang ya kayaknya. Ini juga para Sonic tentunya udah gak sabar untuk melihat sang Raja Landak, Raja Langit untuk mengangkat piala mereka.
Wow, akhirnya resmi bisa mengangkat piala MPL Indonesia Season 10 sebagai winner atau championnya Raja Galaxy.
Yes, 4-1 sudah mereka lalui game yang sangat panjang. Datang dari lower bracket, mereka menantang kembali The Royal Basti dan pada akhirnya kemenangan mereka dapatkan.
Benar sekali, walaupun sebelumnya bertanding dengan RRQ Hoshi harus tunduk, tapi hari ini Onyx Esports membuktikan bahwa Onyx Esports menjadi Raja Galaxy dan membawa pulang piala champion.
Oke, boleh dari Onyx Esports untuk mendekat ke piala karena kita untuk ke trofi karena kita akan berhitung bersama-sama ya. Setuju ya?
Kita hitung sama-sama. Wow, udah siap berkerumun di tengah-tengah piala?
Dari 5 ya, dari 5
ya,
kita akan hitung bersama-sama
ya.
Bareng-bareng yuk. Dari 5.
Oke, siap-siap. Teman-teman dari Onyx Esports sudah siap mengangkat piala. Oh, bukan cuma piala yang diangkat tapi juga giant check-nya nih.
Asik.
Wow, oke. Siap-siap.
Let's go. Inilah dia. Juara MPL Indonesia Season 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Onyx Esports.
Sang Raja Galaxy. Raja Galaxy pemenang MPL Indonesia Season 10.
Raja Galaxy Onyx Esports yang kembali lagi menyabet gelar dan memberikan yang terbaik. Tentunya perjuangan mereka belum selesai di sini, masih akan ada di M4.
Benar sekali Bude, ini dia pemenang kali ini dan akan mewakili Indonesia di ajang M4 nanti. Semoga tentunya bisa membawa pulang piala M4 juga ya Bude.
Amin, 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 amin. Tentunya yang terbaik untuk kedua perwakilan kita di Indonesia. Mereka sudah berjuang mati-matian, tapi kali ini lawan mereka adalah internasional. Mereka akan berjuang sekuat tenaga lagi untuk mendapatkan gelar juara dunia.
Yes, sekali lagi Sonic dan semua super fans, kita bisa berikan tepuk tangan apresiasi. Inilah Onyx Esports Raja Galaxy.
Dan tentunya dukungan dari para super fans begitu meriah dan begitu mengharukan. Para keluarga juga yang sudah datang, terima kasih karena Onyx Esports tentu dukungan terus bergulir dari pihak keluarga, dari pihak super fans, semuanya hadir berkumpul menjadi satu.
Benar sekali, walaupun yang bertarung adalah player-player Onyx Esports, tapi ini tidak lepas dari dukungan-dukungan semua Sonic super fans di sini yang dari berbagai daerah di Indonesia.
Untuk orang tua boleh ayo naik. Untuk
Bukan
keluarga
cuma
besar,
Sonic, tapi ada keluarga di sini yang datang.
Selamat Tante. Macam selamat.
Silakan bisa bergabung. Mamanya Samo di sini juga, silakan. Aduh, inilah Bude, silakan.
Naik ke atas panggung boleh banget. Ayang-ayangan mau naik, ayangnya juga boleh naik ke atas panggung untuk bersama-sama selebrasi di atas panggung.
Inilah orang-orang di balik layar atau di belakang kesuksesan para player ini, Bude Clara.
Yes.
Ingat, Axe Dual Action.
Because
towards him, and that's just
mentioned Onyx Esports. This choke can be flexed into that roam position, but if they go for the jungler again, right? That choke out a hero. Now,
and a Paquito as well as a Valentina. All very serious threats to a marksman that can instantly be one-shot. So for RRQ, they require some kind of tankiness. They require a lot of crowd control, especially because Onyx, they understand that. They ban out the Hilda, they ban out the Jawhead as well. So RRQ, they're gonna be struggling to find a hero that can really pose a big threat with dynamic possibilities. Because if they go for something like a Franco, yes, they can go for big pickoffs, but can they secure, will they be able to actually hunt for that Irithel in the back line?
the Cho should be flexing to the jungle here. They pick up a Farsa, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason I was about to say they can flex the Cho into the jungle. That's already a solid counter to the lane, but they need someone to catch that back line to find the Irithel. Now, both of these picks, the Farsa and the signature Franco, can do that. Farsa poking the Irithel down, and obviously those iron hooks from Vin. The Franco that's been hidden throughout the regular season, throughout the playoffs. This is their hidden weapon, and they picked it up here. Onyx Esports, however, have a chance to pick up a Diggy here against so much CC. Lockdown from RRQ, even up against the 1-1, it becomes such a viable option for Onyx Esports. But is Keyboy comfortable on a hero like that? No, he isn't. He goes for the Lolita instead here. Another form of that counter with the shield towards 1-1.
Yeah, but even then, RRQ Hoshi, they have a really strong draft, right? Because we've seen how crazy the Cho jungle pick can be against an assassin jungle, of course, for the opposing end. And in the stage, every time they go for neutral objectives, it might be Cho winning this out. And in terms of wave clear, RRQ Hoshi are going to have it in that mid lane because of how fast and how crazy the range from Farsa can be, plus the mobility with the wings by wings. They are going to be able to rotate a lot faster in comparison to Onyx. But on the flip side, Onyx has someone like the Valentina who can utilize these big engages from the Cho with the Wave Dragon, the Farsa with her ultimate, the Feather Airstrike, and even Franco with the Suppress. So it all comes back down to how Clay is also able to utilize this Valentina pick to its utmost potential.
And speaking of combinations in the mid lane, RRQ, that's a lot of dominance, man. Quick roams, crowd control, and burst damage. You gotta really start worrying about Kyrie on that lane. Without a strong jungler, an assassin against a tank, as well with a backup from the Farsa and the Franco, it's gonna be dangerous for him.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive into game number 1 in the Land of Dawn. The Royal Derby, RRQ Hoshi versus Onyx Esports.
We're going to see how these two kings collide with one another here in game number 1 with a set of differences in their composition here. RRQ Hoshi, they're going to have to go for pickoffs on the board here in the early phase. They do have the Franco, they do have the Farsa to be able to maneuver around the map rather early. And the Cho, of course, is going to be able to jungle early on in this game. But of course, he has to wait for that level 4, so a little behind in terms of that. But ladies and gentlemen, we are entering a technical pause here. And of course, fair play is our utmost priority. We want to make sure both the audience, both the players, everyone in attendance as well gets the best out of this best of 7 as we are in the grand finals.
Right now, Kyrie, he has the killing spree and he's able to actually clear the jungle a lot faster than Albert. So maybe he'll be able to out-clear and out-rotate, out-maneuver RRQ, because if he gets stuck, especially as Eternal mentioned, after level 4, that's a lot of crowd control. And you can bet that Vin is going to be on the hunt to try and make sure that Kyrie won't be a relevant factor in the mid-game. Later on, you're gonna watch out for RRQ Hoshi and how they're gonna try and contest a purple buff, because we've talked again and again about how the purple buff is gonna be so critical in ensuring the heroes like a Ling can actually be a relevant factor in those mid-game team fights.
Just in the early game, though, we already have something to analyze, right? You mentioned it, Ling. How is he able to clear faster than a Cho on the Demon Slayer, even though the Ling was on a killing spree? Now, this is what teams like to do now. They start in the bottom side of the map towards that gold lane to actually let the gold laner always favor Irithel.
That they can utilize to their benefit in order to support that losing lane, which is the 1-1.
Speaking of the far side, it's in the hands of Clay, the runner for MPL ID Season 8, the first place winner, champion of MPL ID Season 9, and the MVP of the finals of MPL ID Season 9. So this man has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge under his belt, and he'll for sure attempt to swing the side lanes in favor of RRQ. That quick gank and maybe even the facilitation of dives with the feather airstrike. That is something that I think RRQ will be trying to attempt a lot in this game, because otherwise, off the bat, the side lanes seem to be losing quite a bit, and if they allow the side lanes of Onyx to snowball, to get stronger out of control, it's going to be very difficult for them to maintain the jungle pressure, and that will lead to Kyrie being able to actually snowball out of control.
Right now, you can see just now earlier was Skylar's father.
He's really stepped up.
Such a monster here in the mid lane. He's
damage compared to Suns, and we saw that even on the Valentina, it needs to be something crazy like a hook onto CW, like a huge pickoff, but on esports with how they're playing, with the composition, as you mentioned, with Lolita able to actually block away most of the damage, most of the crowd control. A well-timed blast from Vin will be able to throw a wrench in the plans of Onyx Esports, but even then, Onyx would most likely know how to deal against that.
Let's see. The snowball composition from Onyx Esports is definitely scary. There's a lot of damage output there.
And even relying on the Luna Blast itself, because of that animation, it can be cancelled, remember.
And you gotta remember, right? The reason the Lolita worked so well for Onyx in game 1 was because RRQ lacked CC.
Exactly.
Onyx have a lot of CC in this game to counter that Lolita Luna Blast charge. They have literally everyone here. And because the Gusion is in mid, he has the pension fight too. So that's CC. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to dive into game number 2. Into the land of dawn here. It's Onyx Esports take on RRQ. Onyx 1-0 currently looking to make it 2-0 with their draft.
Their mid power spike is going to be so felt here for Onyx Esports. RRQ Hoshi, they have to be careful. How are they going to do this? Should they play for the early game? Should they play for the late game? Because in that mid game, Onyx Esports, they're just going to roll on RRQ Hoshi with their composition.
Definitely in the late game, I think. I feel like Onyx Esports, they do very well in skirmishes, but in the 5v5, there's a lot of chance for RRQ Hoshi to go for a combo, to do a lot of damage. But in the early game, they have to be very, very careful. But Albert goes in aggressively. Keyboy is the main target, and he is forced to flicker away RRQ Hoshi, abusing the early game even before the ultimates are ready.
And this is still to that mid control. Lucian, not good. I mean, it's good clear, but not against Valentino. He can just bully you away from this wave.
I think that's the idea of why it was paired with Cho in that mid lane, but even then, you need to be able to wait for that level 4, I feel, and not be able to do too much of a risky play here in that mid side, as right now, both teams are going to start centering around this turtle. 20 seconds left on the clock. Keyboy's still level 2, so I'm not going to expect any crazy plays from Onyx Esports at this point.
In the mid game with a bit more items is where they're going to try and make plays happen, and for sure, I assume that they're going to avoid big fights and go for the skirmishes. They're looking at the talent predictions by Axe. Only one RRQ vote in both English and Indonesian desks.
I actually predicted Onyx, to be honest, so...
Only one.
So, only one, alright? If we take it correctly, that means OG Ranger Moss is the only one who went for RRQ. Onyx Esports, once again, going for the secret objective. Kyrie to be stunned up here. As the last will be charged in. Well, Kyrie to be caught. First blood over to RRQ. The crowd erupts. Presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A Series 5G. Turtle going to be targeted here by RRQ now, and Onyx Esports are being forced to back away. This is where it's going to be disastrous for Onyx, remember. Because, guess what? It's a snowball composition for Onyx Esports. If they don't get that lead early on, if it's instead RRQ who gets the lead with their multi-dimensional draft,